Hey. Alright everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 20. On the cover this week we have the brand new series called Drawn to the Fire by Masayoshi Satasho. And it's apparently a basketball manga, so they're trying sports again. I don't know. You know, sports series in Jump for the last few years have been rough. They've been really trying to get something, but nothing is sticking at all. Not to sound like too much of a pessimist, but just looking at this, I don't see this being the one that saves sports in Shonen Jump, personally. I don't know. That's a very general assumption. I have not read the chapter. I'm just looking at it on the cover. But, like, I don't know, man. That art style, we'll see. All right, we'll just see. Beyond that, we do have a little bit of news this week. It's actually kind of big news, but it's news about news because we don't know what it is exactly yet. But on the 27th/26th, depending on your time zone of the month, we will have a Jump Press event that will showcase some announcements about a series in Jump. They released a teaser image, which teases some series that will be present there. I'm not sure if this is talking about all of the series that are featured or just some of them, but it's pretty clear to me what most of these mean. Well, all of them actually. The bullets indicate Sakamoto days. The eagle or hawk is more than likely Promised Neverland. The ring is JJK Modulo. The grimoire, obviously Black Clover, and then, come on. Kagurabachi, you know, whatever. Doesn't even need to be said. Interesting. I think it's pretty clear that we're gonna get a Kagurabachi anime announcement. That just seems very likely. Black Clover, probably just talking about the final chapter in the new season, probably a trailer. JJK Modulo, I really don't know. The only thing left for them is to reveal the final volume cover. I can't see them announcing like an anime or anything. There's no way. But the fact that they put it on the poster is interesting. Promised Neverland, there's a lot of rumors about a remake of the anime or some project to celebrate its anniversary, so we'll see. And then Sakamoto Days, probably just season 2, I would have to imagine. Or talking about when it's going to end. That's also very possible, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm hoping for also seeing Hunter x Hunter at this event. I don't know, though. We'll just have to wait and see. It's in like 2 weeks. And also, as for this issue itself, Hero Girl and Demon Lord did get axed this week, so we'll talk about that later. There's a lot of uncertainty about if it was going to get canceled or not, but it did, so we'll get there. But for now, let's go ahead and check out this new series. Drawn to the Fire, Chapter 1, Natsu and Keiki Like Bugs to a Flame. That chapter title isn't revealed until the very last page, but that is the title. Okay, so this wasn't bad. There's a lot I respect about this series. The first of which being a lot of subversion of expectations and, you know, not playing into tropes. It definitely does. But the tropes that it doesn't partake in is what interests me. Like the fact these two characters, I don't have their names down, I literally just said it, Keiki and Natsu. In any other series, these two would be rivals. Like they'd be kind of antagonistic towards each other, would help each other out. You know, classic sports series shit, you've seen it a million times. But their bond right off the bat is pretty interesting to me. It's something I haven't seen before. Well, not ever, but not a lot, at least. And it's nice, actually. I think this is a really nice relationship that these two characters have, and it's easy to be endeared to it and to them because of how they are portrayed. Really good stuff. Something else I really admire about this series is the fact that our main character's role model is a woman, or a girl. I mean, this is high school, but or middle school? No, high school. I think first year high school. That's kind of unheard of, especially in a sports series. I love that. That's really cool. And even with our main character here, you can tell his design is really interesting. He's very effeminate, very soft facial features, which, you know, in a sports series, that's unusual for the most part, but I think in a good way, probably. The art style is odd. I won't deny that. For a sports series to look like this, it's definitely strange because, I mean, they're very cartoonishly portrayed. It's a very loose art style, which looks good. It's just, I don't know, something about it is weird for a sports series. I guess it's more grounded because, you know, Slam Dunk, whether you want to admit it or not, is high school basketball. But those guys look like full-grown adults. This, yeah, these are high schoolers. You can tell right off the bat. I don't really have any, like, negative things to say about the art style or designs. It's just odd to see it in sports. Because when you typically envision a sports manga, I think you have a certain image painted in your head of what it should look like, and it's definitely not this. Beyond those two things, the things that I really like and admire about it, it is pretty by the numbers sports stuff. I do think it's smart to have our MC be the point guard. That's a pretty, natural thing to make your main character, because, he literally holds the team together. A point guard is a very important role in basketball, and even something like the Slam Dunk movie that came out in the last few years, they even made the adjustment to make the point guard the MC, compared to Sakuragi, who is the main character through the whole show. They just swapped it for the movie because it's an easier character for a newcomer to put yourself in the shoes of, I think, or a role at least, because it's a very easily defined role. It's very clear what their purpose is. So to have that be the MC right off the bat, that's smart. I think that's really smart. I've never read Kuroko's basketball, so I don't know what, I assume his name is Kuroko's role is. So I can't say this is like unseen, and I know it's at least not because of the Slam Dunk movie, but regardless, it's a smart choice, and I do respect that. But, when they get to actually playing the game, it wasn't too exciting to look at. It's pretty, what a sports manga typically is, especially basketball. It's got the double page spreads of like slam dunks and big shots. It's classic. If you've read a sports manga or basketball manga in particular, you've seen these a lot. And the final page is this, I guess, a high five. It looks really whack the way it's portrayed. I don't know what kind of high five they just did. I can kind of picture it. I guess this is like their hands after they just, okay, I see. Yeah, no, I get it. So they did the high five, and now we're seeing their hands afterwards, like falling from the momentum or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I guess that's fine. It's chapter 1. The art style will evolve. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's not like super revolutionary or anything, but it does a lot of interesting things that I think have piqued my interest. But it doesn't give me confidence that it's going to maintain any sort of intrigue to me or continue to be interesting. But hey, we'll see. I don't know. I'm just always really hesitant about sports series in this manga because they've just been completely shitting the bed with those for the last, like, however long it's been since Haikyuu ended. It's been rough. We'll see. There's been a lot of good first chapters of sports manga, and they've all gone to shit. This one, I wouldn't even say it's like an amazing first chapter, but it is good. It's enjoyable. There's definitely things about it that make it stand out, but then there's also a lot of other things that make me be like, oh, I don't know, can it really do this? Because that basketball game that they played really wasn't all that interesting, I gotta be honest. The build-up was cool. There's a lot of exposition. For a sports series, that was a lot of exposition. I worry this will be too wordy for people. I don't know, man. There's a lot. I'm not sure about this one. We'll just have to wait and see. But as it stands, I think this chapter was good for what it was. Ichi Chapter 78, Chance Meetings Are Fate. Not a whole lot to say about the chapter beyond the final events here, but I do think the Magic Keepers are an interesting concept. So I have been wondering, like, pretty much the whole run of the series, like, what men even do in this world? And I guess this is what they do. They can become these Magic Keepers, which are apparently an equal force in the world compared to witches. I don't know if I really like that, to be honest. I kind of just liked having a world where women kick ass and men are just normal peons in society. I suppose it makes sense. Like, yeah, I guess men would probably have to do something in the world, but I don't know. It's just a little, like, lame. Because at first I was thinking, like, last chapter I was like, oh, it's just these two guys. These are the Magic Keepers. That's it. But no, this is like a whole organization. I don't know. What's also interesting, because now that we know that these guys exist, why did they not recruit Gokuraku? Like, he literally does what they do now, but he's in the Witches Guild. I don't know. This just doesn't make much sense to me, and it feels kind of like an editorial decision. I don't know, maybe I'm just being pessimistic about it, but this really feels like an editor was like, hey, we're in a shonen magazine for boys, and we don't have any boys in this really, except for, Gokuraku and Ichi, which were already more than enough in my opinion. So we gotta have a whole important organization of all men. Put that in right now, please. That's how this feels to me. And I don't know if that's true. That's probably being very over pessimistic about this. And I also, like, this is a whole story. We gotta see how this unfolds. This is just weekly manga talk. This is how things go. I gotta be speculative and hesitant sometimes. I kind of don't know if I'm a big fan of where we're going at this very moment. This is very early. We will see. I'm going to keep an open mind. Of course, I love this series dearly. I'm going to hear out anything it has to say, but don't know about this one. We will see. What I do like about this encounter at the end, though, is just how, like, it's on site. Ichi just, like, notices him, and, like, you get that classic, like, Ichi twinge, and he just launches himself at him. It's pretty sick. I thought that was cool. Outside of that, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this chapter. It was alright.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto chapter 255, just a little bit now. This was an alright chapter. I thought it was well drawn, at least. The final moments with Gozu, whose name I now have remembered because it was told to me. But I do like his final moments. I thought that was, you know, a nice little scene. And I liked the fake out death that Shishiba had. I knew he wasn't gonna die. It kind of felt like it for a second, but I mean, it's not gonna happen. It's Sakamoto days. People don't die like that. At least it's really important people don't. And then, you know, I guess him being saved is kind of neat. Like, the conversation that's had there is something. It's very minimal, but it's something. I'll take it. It was fine. I don't know. But then I'm just left with dread in my heart as we cut back in the final 2 pages to the fight that I do not give a single shit about. Oh my god, I don't care, dude. I don't even want to look at this. We just had 2 characters that I actually care about fighting for, like, I don't know, 8 chapters or something, and now I gotta go back to this nonsense. We better not spend anywhere near as long on this. Get through it, man. I don't want to see this. I forgot this was even happening. Man, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It was an okay chapter. Just didn't really leave me with a whole lot to chew on.
He did the monster mash.
Roku's House of Oddities Chapter 2, Welcome to the House of Sweets. Guys, I'm just going to be honest, I don't think this series has staying power at all. It's just not that funny. Even down to... So I kept talking last week, I love the bit about the dog being too big, he's constantly calling it out, that's funny. They've already driven it into the ground. Dude, the color page? Are you kidding me? See, that dog is way too big. Why is that there? And then immediately, like, you flip one page and then they point it out again. Okay, the joke is already driven into the dirt. I can't laugh at that anymore. You've said it too many times. They do some legwork here. They give us all names for these characters and further establish their gimmicks. Then they play a Wii? I don't know why. What year does this take place in? Why does he have a Wii? Or did the mangaka of this just wake up from, like, a cryo sleep from 2008? I don't know why they're playing Wii. And then they play this Nori Party game, which is apparently a 6-player game on the Nintendo Wii. What? I don't know, man. That's just nitpicking. I feel like I'm like Cinema Sins or something when I say shit like that, but it just is really funny. Like, first of all, the year is 2026, and they're playing on a Nintendo Wii on, like, an HD TV, and then also they're playing with 6 players. What is this world they live in? I don't know. This just wasn't that entertaining. I guess the whole purpose of this chapter is just to show us more about these characters, and it worked, I guess, but I still don't really like them. I'm not sure about this one. I feel like this is dead on arrival. Truthfully, I do. It just does not give me staying power energy. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm not feeling much of anything from this so far. Someone Hertz Chapter 29, Deliciousness is Love. You'll never guess what I'm going to say. Yeah, that's right. This was a cute chapter. I know I'm a broken record on this, but it's literally all I can think to say to start off these conversations every week. It is just cute. It's a cute series. This was especially cute. I really like these chapters where we get to just have a whole extended segment, and I mean, in this case, just the whole chapter of them listening to the show together. And this is a fun idea where, you know, there's the potential of if they answer quick enough, they'll get a phone call from the hosts. And it's that feeling, like, I think we've all had situations like this where we have the chance to talk to somebody we admire, and it's like, I mean, like, I could do it, but like maybe I just won't because I'm too nervous. It's fun. It's this series proves time and time again that it's very capable of writing human emotions on such a real level that it's really damn impressive, honestly. Yeah, very cute chapter the whole way through. Cute ending. Cute all around. Cute series, guys. It's cute. What else do you want me to say? I really like it. It's a very, very nice read. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 88, Kiyoshi Harai versus Helza Bobo. We spent some time doing the more comedic side of Kiyoshi fights, but now we've gone full into serious mode, and it's really cool. Again, I've been talking about this a lot these past few weeks, and because it's pretty relevant. I really love how Kiyoshi is this two-sided character. He has this goofy side, this really endearing goofy side to him, and he's also able to get extremely serious when he needs to. And it's extremely effective because, like, it's not because he's such a goofball. Half the time, you're not able to take him seriously when he gets serious. It's kind of the opposite. It's because of how goofy he is internally and, you know, sometimes outwardly facing, that makes it so effective when he does get serious, because it's like, oh shit, like, no jokes, you know, we're doing this. And that was very present in the Osteroth fight, obviously, as that progressed, and this is giving me similar vibes to that, but also very different because Helza Bobo is an extremely different character. But on an emotional level, this is accomplishing very similar things, at least with Kiyoshi's character. I'm really curious to see how this fight ends. I feel like it's not going to go the same way that the Osteroth fight went. Helza Bobo is giving me vibes of, like, not redemption per se, but some different outcome for the character that I couldn't exactly predict, but something different is going to happen with him. I just feel it. I don't know what. I really don't know what that looks like yet. I just feel something different coming for this character. A different trajectory is coming. But yeah, I really like this chapter. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of, like, dialogue or anything. It's mostly just cool action and taunting, but it's really cool. Shinobi Undercover, Chapter 77, Partings and Awakenings. This was a really good chapter, I thought. This is, like, a really cool concept. I know this is something we've been slowly unraveling, this weird state of mind that Yotaka has, this I don't even know how to put it into words exactly, just this gimmick with his head, his internal thoughts, and to see it just, like, outwardly shown to us, like, given form with this whole, like, mind palace, bunch of, you know, cells at work. It's very cells at work, actually. Well, the outfits are even similar, and the death of the fake operator actually, like, getting him emotional. It's cool to have a main character with, like, this is gonna sound really something, but I don't know how this is going to sound, but it's cool to have a character with, like, mental issues. That is such a weird thing to say out loud, but it's true. It's really interesting to me. Like, this is not something I can say I've really seen before. Like, we have these non-existent things happening in his mind. Like, this isn't really happening. There's not little people in his mind, but we're getting, you know, it drawn to us. This is a way to show to the reader what is happening in his very complicated head. And I think that is such a cool idea for a main character. We've gotten a little bit of this before, but not to this level. And if this is the kind of stuff we can expect from it going forward, I love it. I love how it's portrayed, and now this new, like, operator personality inside the head kind of calling the shots. It's really cool. It's reminding me a lot of Soul Eater, actually, in a way, with, like, you know, the Meisters and their weapons, where, you know, this would be, I guess, a kind of a weird combination of the Meister and the weapon, because the Meister is the one who kind of calls the shots, but they have to work in tandem to whatever, you know. I think, maybe, I don't know, read Soul Eater. It's good. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was super cool. I really like this new gimmick, and I'm excited to see it continue. I thought this was just so fun to read and very unique. And uniqueness is a virtue in this magazine. It'll keep you afloat, and that's really working for this series. It seems to be doing really well. It's getting a lot of color pages lately, like a lot. So I guess this is taking off. Good on it. It's doing a good job. Blue Box Chapter 238 being like this. Well, this will be the least I've had to say about Blue Box in quite some time. It's a badminton chapter. It's not doing anything to break the mold. It's still portraying it the same way it's done the entire series. Even though this is a more climactic, match, it still just feels like normal old badminton in Blue Box. It's such like a background element, and she's just not able to draw out the sports like excitement in badminton matches. And this isn't really a critique, because if you ever try binge reading Blue Box, the sports matches flow really nicely. It's really just like, you're not trying to follow this like a real sports game. You're just following the characters and their journey, and this is just a way to showcase it. That's why the games are so short and like you barely see any like plays happen. It just kind of happens. In a binge read, it works so well, but reading week to week, the sports matches are always really odd, especially basketball. The few times we've had Chinatsu playing basketball, it really didn't work all that well, at least in terms of reading weekly. I'm telling you, if you're a weekly reader of Blue Box exclusively, if you ever go back and reread some volumes, the flow is just so much better. It's just one of those things where reading weekly kind of kills some things. But that's that for this week. I don't know, it was okay. It was fine. I guess the journey we're going through with Haruto is interesting enough for his character. I've never been a big Haruto fan, I'll be honest. He's just okay. And I mean, this is no exception. This isn't like making me love him all of a sudden. It's just more Haruto. Makes sense for him, but I still don't really care a whole lot. It's a badminton match. Kagurabachi Chapter 118, the Irishima Talks Part 2. Definitely a brief exchange here altogether, but I thought it was really well done. I love just how quick and efficient everybody is in this conflict. It's very satisfying and well thought out from like a choreography standpoint, which that's the Kagurabachi special. Team fights especially, or like group fights, I guess team is kind of a loose term here. It's just a bunch of people fighting at once. They're always so well done. It's really amazing how Hokuzono is able to keep track of everything going on. This isn't the best example because, again, this is very fast, but it's still, this would probably be harder to draw and write than you'd think it is. And he just kills it. It's so cool looking. I loved pretty much everything that happened in this chapter. It was so fun to read and very, it flowed really well. Really nice paneling as per usual, and the flow just felt right. It was such an easy read, and that's the stuff I love about Kagurabachi. It's just a really well-made comic book. Very cool stuff.
What are you doing, step bro?
Anyways, Exorcist Chapter 141, It'll Be Fine, which is actually a chapter title I kind of love after this chapter. It's really funny to see what I just saw and then read that title. That's pretty good, actually. I gotta give props to that. But wow, we're really just speeding along. They are wasting absolutely no time. Gekka, did Gekka even get an interaction with Nue? Like a substantial one? I don't know. We just wrapped up that whole thing and saved Gekka, and Gekka doesn't even really say anything to Nue. That's boring. Maybe did they talk last chapter? God, I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, this new guy is kind of cool. Admittedly, I think his like weird mouth gimmick is neat, and obviously this giant sword at the end. That's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. At this point, I'm kind of just along for the roller coaster. I just got to see what happens. This whole setup is so bizarre. They're just doing something totally unrelated, and then bam, new thing happens. That's the pacing of this series, I suppose. It's not even giving it any more like quote-unquote downtime where it's all fan service and nonsense. That's usually the flow that this series gets into. It's like, okay, big fight, fan service, big fight, fan service, and sometimes during as well. It's like a mix. But no, this time, just getting straight into it. No fan service here. That's good. Guess it was a fine chapter. Very unexpected that how fast we're moving here. I wonder, it's like Gekka gonna get kidnapped again or something? There's no way. That would be ridiculous. I don't know what we're setting up here, but it does feel very conclusive. I do wonder if maybe we're heading towards a final arc. Wouldn't that be nice? I doubt it, though. I really doubt it. This series is just gonna keep dragging its wheels somehow, some way for all time. Yeah, that was New Way this week. I guess it was okay. Like, whatever. I mean, I still don't really care about what I'm reading, but it was a fine chapter. Witch Watch Chapter 243, Bone Crisis Part 12. Not gonna be much to say about this one. This is like the most basic example of one of those chapters where it's just like, here's the fight matchups. Look at them. That's pretty much what's happening here. We're just seeing what everybody except the people we touched on 2 weeks ago, because it was off last week, are doing. I do like to focus on Miharu. That's kind of who we're focusing on after we see a little catch up about other people. So I'm assuming we're going to finish his fight up within the next few chapters. If it's not already over, actually, it low-key might be. That might have been the finishing blow. Part of me doubts it, but we'll see. Regardless, it was actually pretty sick. I like seeing like insane Miharu there at the end, just laughing while he's stabbing himself. That was pretty fun, especially with the opponent he has, where he looks all big and intimidating, but this little, like, I don't know, 12-year-old or whatever he is making him terrified. It's fun. I liked this. Not a substantial chapter really, but it was fine. Just setting up some fights. I wonder how many parts Bone Crisis will end up being. I feel like we're getting somewhere, but I still feel like it's going to be into the 20s at least. Akane-banashi Chapter 202, Transformation. Absolutely phenomenal. This is such a cool journey that this chapter takes you on. And, you know, if you've been listening to or, you know, watching my videos for a long time, I haven't even been doing this a year. A long time is subjective here, but you know what I mean. I will have said this before, almost assuredly, about this series, but the way it just strings you along throughout these performances, it really does just feel like you're an audience member. It's so effective at communicating what the audience is supposed to be feeling and what it's like to actually be in that room and hear the performance. It makes me really curious about how the anime is going to handle stuff like this because, you know, the anime has the benefit of, like, you can actually animate the performance. I don't know. There's parts of me that wonder, like, is this even going to work as an anime? I don't know. Only one episode's out. I thought it was a really good episode, but we'll see how it goes. This isn't about the anime. This is about this chapter right now. The moment where Hikaru is thinking to herself, oh, I get it. Okay, the comedic aspect was just a front. It is actually a horror story. And the person next to her laughs. And she starts to unravel like, oh my God, no. It's just, Akane's just, what's the wording? Hold on, let me get this real quick. It's something somebody else says later. She's just tossing it out there is how it was worded. And with that really cool imagery. She's just kind of throwing it out there. Death is unique to everybody. Everybody on this planet has a unique relationship to the concept of death. And Akane is able to illustrate that, as well as the mangaka is able to illustrate that concept in this performance. And that is just one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in this series. The way that they portray this idea is, it's not unlike anything I've seen in this series. This series is very capable of doing moments like this. But this feels special because, and this is, you know, accentuated by the fact that this ends with like a statement saying that this basically could be like a once in a lifetime performance. Like, this is a phenomenon. This is like your craft. This is something only you are capable of. And I just think that's incredible. Like, it's such a cool culminating moment in the journey that we've seen Akane go on so far, to craft something that is so rooted in tradition and turn it into her own thing without even really breaking tradition. It's just that she is so skilled at telling this damn story that it can be whatever you want it to be. The way that it's shown in the crowd, there's people looking on in horror, there's people laughing their asses off, there's people crying. It's just all over the place. And that's phenomenal, dude. The big, not quite double page spread of all the different masks with all the different emotions, with Akane's like weird shadow face peeking through. So amazing, dude. And it's also just such a good way to showcase the unique relationship that she herself has to this story. It's personal, as is everybody's relationship with death to some degree. It is a personal thing. It's a very private thing, usually. You don't talk about death. Death is a strange concept to even talk about for most people. It's an uncomfortable topic. And Akane's approach to that is just like, let's not make you feel one way or the other. I'm just telling you, this is death. Here it is. How do you feel about it? What's your thoughts? Laying it all out on the table, and you pick up what you want to pick up. I love it. This was incredible. Such a good way to showcase what is being conveyed. It's just such an impressive manga, dude. It's unbelievable. It astounds me every week at just how good, at least during performances, at just how good it is at putting you in the world. You feel like you are sitting in that audience with everybody else, and it's just the coolest thing in the world. That's why I really just love this as a manga, because it makes it feel more personal as well. It's not being spelled out to you through animation. It is being spelled out to you in some regard, but you kind of have to. You cannot just draw a Rakugo performance straight. Like, that defeats the whole purpose. The idea of this is to take a visually uninteresting art form. That's not to discredit Rakugo. It's just that's how it is. There's nothing visual about it. It's supposed to be a mental journey you're going on by hearing these people speak to you. And it's just portrayed in the most beautiful and unbelievable way possible. It's actually astonishing how they're able to pull it off. Sorry, I'm rambling this week, I know, but this just really got my mind going. I love this shit so much. Just chapters like this is what cements it as, I really do believe, one of the best manga of all time. In Roboco Chapter 277, Editorial and Roboco. They're really having a field day with Jump-related chapters lately, but this is funny. I like, the little bits they do. Roboco doing her thing, like making like the little next chapter previews. Changing the Akane-banashi one to Roboco suddenly appears in the dual duet. That's funny. The next chapter they find the One Piece. Funny stuff, nothing too substantial this week. It was mostly just, here's a funny look at what it's like inside Shueisha or whatever, the editorial department. It's a neat little insight, and it's probably somewhat true to life. And also, just a little detail I like about this is it even goes out of the way to make like the cutouts of the panels that they put on that cork board. They really do look like cutouts. I just think that's a cool little detail. Like, it could have been more clean and like less effort put into it, but it really does look like, it's like an imperfect cutout. Good work with the art, I suppose. That's kind of impressive. I like how it looks, even though that could just be like a digital edition. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, probably the case, because I think Miyazaki only draws digitally. I think. Actually, does he? I don't know. There was a chapter about that a while ago. I can't remember what the consensus was. Anyway, yeah, not a bad chapter. Alien Headbutt Chapter 10, Chance Encounter. Well, somehow, Alien Headbutt has gone from the lowest ranking of the new patch to the highest on the TOC. I don't know if this is just a 1 week thing or what is going on, but wow. The other two got pushed like to the near bottom. I think actually literally the bottom. Yeah, they're both at the bottom, right above Hero Girl and Demon Lord, which got axed. That's crazy. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this was a really good chapter. I love this reuniting of Oga and his sister, and how he, Yuki, I just saw her name. That's not something I remembered, just for the record. But I like him slowly becoming more emotionally vulnerable and not even realizing it. That's such a human thing. We've all had moments like that where we don't even realize we're getting emotional about something, but he's just talking and saying out loud that he is a professional wrestler now, and he starts crying as he's looking on at his sister who he thought might have been dead when he got here. And just, you can only imagine that feeling, What a beautiful moment that is. I also really love the moment whenever they first reunite and, she pretends not to recognize him, but she's just like, nah, I'm kidding. And then hugs him. That's so sweet. I really, really love that moment. Then we end off with these guys we saw last chapter, the spiky guy and the motorcycle guy coming in and picking a fight, I guess. This is going to be interesting to see them talk already. I wasn't really expecting them to interact this soon, but let's do it. I want to see what these guys are all about. This is actually fascinating. Maybe we'll actually learn some stuff about what the hell is even going on this island now. Given the pacing of what, the information flow so far, I feel like we're getting to about time to learn more about the bigger picture. Just feels right. Yeah, really good chapter. I love this one. Hima-Ten Chapter 86, House Cleaner Line. Well, this is an okay chapter. This isn't exactly how I expected Iemori to realize his feelings for Himari, and it's not exactly that yet. We're getting there. It's definitely, I bet next chapter is going to open with like, because, I'll just skip to the end, whatever. I don't have much to say about the in-between. The cat's cute, whatever. He goes back in the house. He says it's nostalgic, which is funny because that was like a month ago. Whatever. Anyway, the end, he says internally, so how is that different from love? The house husband analogy. But I bet next chapter is going to open with, nah, never mind. I'm wrong. That's stupid. Wouldn't be surprised at all if that's how it ended up. This is a fine enough moment to realize it. I guess it makes sense. He is feeling some type of way about like not being her house cleaner anymore. And this is a moment where she's crying. It's also just such a bizarre concept to have somebody cry about losing their housekeeper. I don't know. I've never had a housekeeper before, so maybe you do get really attached to them. I doubt it, but I don't, it's deeper than that. But the fact that E.A. Mori sees her cry and doesn't like immediately be like, okay, whoa, hold on, this is some crazy shit, is not very human. I've been talking a lot about, people who are good at writing human emotions, and I think this is a very unnatural way to write human emotions. It doesn't really feel real, and that's never been something this series is particularly good at, but it just stands out to me here, especially. I don't know, it was an okay chapter, though. I'm not gonna like hate on it. It was fine. It was whatever. I don't know. It's just another chapter with a significant development at the end. Maybe. It might not even be anything, to be honest. I guess we'll find out.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Doctor Chapter 12, Overload Hygie. Man, it's actually impressive how quickly this series can lose me and then bring me back. You remember a couple weeks ago when it was focused on Doctor stuff and I was locked in? I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm loving this. I was wrong about this series. Now I'm full dooming again. I hated this. I'm straight up. I thought this was garbage. It's trying too hard to be an action series, but that's not where the heart of the story is. This is meaningless. This is nothing. I read this and I feel no emotion. I don't even look at it and I'm like, whoa, it's so badass and awesome. It just looks boring. I don't care. It's just like lame looking Hokuto Shinken. Literally, it's the same kind of fighting style, but it looks boring and lame. I don't know, man. This is so disappointing. And I mean, judging by its TOC placement this week, maybe it's not catching on to other people either. Hard to tell. I don't really know what's going on with the placement of both this and Kinato's Magic, which I'll talk about next, but weird stuff's happening, seemingly. Not working for me, though. That's for sure. I am not feeling this at all, and I will not be sad if this gets axed. I will be in a way, because I'll think about what the series could have been. It's not too late to course correct. Come on, just give me something to latch onto. Reel me back in, make me care. It's still possible. I am losing faith that this series can be anything remotely close to what I want from it. Kinato's Magic, Chapter 11, Kinato fights back. And why? Why does he? What are you doing? What is happening to this batch? Why are these series so determined to take anything about them that makes them unique and squish them and turn themselves into the most basic shit ever? This is driving me crazy. Kinato's Magic had charm and personality when it started, and now it's just My Hero Academia. What the fuck, dude? This is awful. This sucked. This is a terrible chapter. There's nothing good about it. I'm serious. Nothing. Not one good thing. I didn't like a single page of this chapter. I guess the art's nice. What do you want from me? That's all I got. I'm so disappointed. What is happening? Is this the editors trying to think they know what's right? Or is this just two really lost and confused mangaka going down the same path? Oh my god, bro. What the hell's going on? At least Alien Headbutt was what it was from the start. I guess the editorial department didn't need to come in and be like, hey, you got to turn yourself into an action series, because it already was one and it kicks ass because of that. Now, oh, I'm losing my mind. What's going on? What's happening around here? Holy shit, dude. It's so tragic. It really is. Hero Girl and Demon Lord call it quits. Final chapter. Hero Girl and Demon Lord. Or wait, just Hero and Demon Lord and the future, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. Okay. That's literally what I put this chapter down. I just said okay, because I have literally no thoughts. There was not one thought running through my head as I read this chapter. It's not very satisfying. Like, I don't know why we didn't just fully resolve everything. It really wouldn't have been that hard. Instead, we just have another one of these open-ended endings. They love these lately, where it's just, adventure continues, let's go, everybody. This doesn't even feel like an ending, really. Whatever. That's truthfully all I have to say about this final chapter. I guess I'll just talk about the series. What do I even have to say about this one? This one was just like a big nothing burger. It really was. The whole way through, like, it kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, that's kind of cool with the, Demon Lord and the past hero relationship, but then really didn't go anywhere in the final few chapters or really mattered in any meaningful way. This series just felt aimless. Like it had a cute idea and it just did nothing substantial with it. And I think that's its key problem. It just, this is a series about basically nothing, which is something I've said about Gonron Egg as well. All three of these series ended the same way, by the way, this entire batch. Also, by the way, that's a whole batch. This entire batch got axed back to back to back. That's crazy. This has to be a historically bad batch in terms of readership, at least, because I think Mage Next Door was actually pretty good. But, you know, all that. This was crazy. I don't know. What a weird batch this was, man. It just, nothing worked. But they still let them all go to chapter 21. Yeah, Hero Girl and Demon Lord is the one I truly have the least to say about of the three. It's just, I don't know, man. It was a concept and I read 21 chapters of it. It wasn't really good or bad. It was just a thing. It was something. Made me feel an emotion like a couple times. I'm not going to miss it. I don't think many people will. I barely got any comments about this series ever. I don't think many people even bothered to read it because it truly, and it's also just a series that leaves you with like nothing to think about or say after you read it. I feel like Roku's House of Oddities is going to end up kind of following in its footsteps and be like the new version of that. It's already giving very similar vibes. I don't know, bro. What a weird one that was. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 20. I thought this was actually a pretty interesting issue all around. It had some really good stuff, but then I'm just kind of baffled by a lot of series. The newer ones in particular, I think are utterly baffling right now. Other than Alien Headbutt, which is still staying true to itself. Best one of the bunch. And the TOC shows it. But as always, one chapter did stand out amongst them all, and this week's chapter of the week goes to, you can already guess it, Akane-banashi Chapter 202, Transformation. This was a banger. I love everything about it. There really isn't much more I can say about it. I already talked about it enough in my actual review of it, but this was just phenomenal. I love the journey it takes you on and how it puts you in the audience's shoes. So effective, so incredible. Love it for Akane. Love this journey she's been on with this story. Amazing. Perfection. As for next week with issue number 21, we have the new Sorichi series starting, which I'm very excited about. Again, I have no prior experience with Gintama, but I'm just excited to see a well-established mangaka get a new series. I think that'll be a lot of fun. It is going to be called Tunen Bi Gumi YD or something like that. I don't, who cares? It's not going to be called that here. We'll see what it's called next week, but I'm very excited regardless. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue of Shonen Jump. Let me know your chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, or anything else you'd like to tell me about from this issue. And remember, you can also become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see which tier works best for you. You can get things like early access to new videos, exclusive monthly videos, which one just dropped, emotes, name in the credits, and if you get the highest tier, you can get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmere 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, and Dan. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.